Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I just wanted to review some important theorems from chapter 2 before we go on to our new theorems in chapter 3, inshallah. One of the very important theorems is this one over here. And this theorem basically says, in all simplicity, all right angles are congruent. See, here, for example, angle AEB, right here, angle AEB is congruent to angle CEB. So angle AEB is congruent to angle CEB. Now, why is this so? Because you're given that they're both right angles, but you can't just say that, but you have to cite a reason for it, and the reason for that is the theorem that says all right angles are congruent. So this is one of the important theorems. The second theorem is very important, and here's an example. If two angles are supplementary to the same angle, for example, angle 1 is supplementary to angle 2, and angle 3 is supplementary, SUPP. Angle 3 is supplementary to angle 1. So if two angles are supplementary to the same angle, then they are congruent. So let's say, for example, this is 150, and 1 and 2 are supplementary, so this is 30. And 3 is supplementary to 1, so it has to be 30, right? So therefore, angle 2 and angle 3 must be congruent. So if two angles are supplementary to the same angle, then they are congruent. And they don't have to be adjacent angles like this. For example, 1 could be here, 2 could be here. They could be like floating in the space, you know? So if two angles are supplementary to the same angle, then these two angles are congruent. It's very important. And the third theorem that we learn, also very important, and very similarly, is this one. If two angles are complementary to the same angle, for example, this is like 60 and this is 30, they're complementary. Angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary. And angle 3 and angle 1 are complementary, so this is 30. So angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary. And angle 1 and angle 3 are complementary. Then these two angles are congruent, meaning angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. And again, these don't have to be adjacent angles. It could be angle 1, this could be angle 2, and angle 3. And if they're both complementary to the same angle, it implies that angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. So these are some very important recurrent theorems. I mean, they come up again and again, and it's very good to really know them very well. First theorem here is that all right angles are congruent. And then the second one here, if two angles are supplementary to the same angle or congruent angles, that they are congruent. And the third theorem is if two angles are complementary to the same angle or congruent angles, then they are congruent. Inshallah, we'll build on this in the future. Until then, as-salatu was-salamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum.